We live, we live, we live.
Hey,
Yes, sir. We live
everyone,
and
we are
direct.
live.
Live and direct, live in effect.
Yeah,
You
we're
already
live
know.
tonight, you guys. So we
Yes,
have a
indeed.
very interesting topic tonight.
Very interesting
Very
topic.
interesting topic. We'd like you guys to come and join us.
For those that's coming in on Facebook, you probably, I don't know if you see a headline or not, a topic or not. It's over here on YouTube. You can see what the topic is for tonight, but for those that'll be joining us on Facebook tonight, and of course, we don't do our podcast live from Facebook, but when it's a topic that we want the masses to reach, we want everybody to be on top of, or if we've been absent for a while, excuse me, we will come to Facebook to reach out as well. And tonight's topic is one of those topics that we feel that this conversation has to be able to reach out past any of our YouTube subscribers. So we need all of our Facebook friends, all our family, everybody to tap in
You're
to
with On Point Media.
bring to the table any information you may have, any accounts you may know about when it comes to this topic. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you go ahead and let them know what tonight's topic is about.
So tonight's topic for everyone, I should have put up in the caption, but I didn't. Tonight's topic we're going to talk about is domestic violence.
Man,
One of the biggest things that we do not talk about, and we should talk about, domestic violence. And that's whether it's a male or female. Domestic violence comes both ways.
no doubt.
So we want to touch the subject on domestic violence tonight. We're going to let a few more people come into the room. We're also on YouTube right now
Yes,
live.
we are on Park
And
Media.
I'm pretty sure that someone
I'll be right back.
someone that you know have went through domestic violence some type of way. All of us know someone that we each know someone that has went through some type of domestic violence. And if you don't believe me, if you do the statistics, you can go and Google the statistics about domestic violence, and you will be shocked at the amount of domestic violence that takes place every minute. Every minute, there's someone that's being beaten, slapped, verbally abused, or some type of abuse is happening, and that's in the I won't say in the United States, because the United States is a corporation, remember that. In America alone. We're not talking about outside of America, we're talking about in America alone. That's how much domestic violence is going on. And some of us know about it and we turn our heads because we don't want to know that that person is being abused by the person we think so highly of. And there's so many people, young people, that are following in the footsteps of people that they didn't see that have abused someone they care about. So we want to touch on an incident that happened about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
If you guys haven't heard about it,
Yeah.
if you have heard about it, let me know that if you heard about it. If you guys heard about the incident where the two sisters was both murdered in her college, Texas A&M in a college dorm room. This was about 2 weeks ago. These are two young women, 19 and
20-year-olds.
Sisters. They were sisters. And they both got killed, and also the baby got shot, but the baby survived. So
Craziness.
I don't want to put out names or anything like that. I want you guys to just go and Google the incident at A&M,
Texas
A&M, about 2 weeks ago that happened.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that, like I said, we all know someone that's been abused by somebody.
Absolutely.
So you want to go ahead and say it?
Yeah. So we are going to dive deep into this subject as deep as we can. We go talk about some of the statistics when it comes to domestic violence in the United States. But then we're going to go a little in detail about the story that she was referring to. If anybody else has heard of it or knows about it, you guys can chime in as well. And then we want to kind of just leave a open forum where people could just come in and talk, man, because we need solutions.
Yeah.
We need answers and
Right.
suggestions when it comes to this sick pattern of behavior that is plaguing not only people in relationships, because domestic violence it can be, you know, cousins into it. It can be sister and brother, sibling. There's so many different levels of domestic violence, but especially when it comes to the violence being predicated from somebody that you intimate with or in a relationship with.
Yeah.
That seems to be the biggest problem, the number one issue. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we own tonight. Let's talk about it.
I really want to know why so many people turn a blind eye to domestic violence. Why do people in your families can know that someone is being abused? Because you know me, I'm always going to go back to my childhood because it was so important on how the difference between how I was raised and the people are raised today.
Right.
And I was always taught that, hey, if you ever meet a man that and he don't treat you right, you have a problem with him, and he puts his hands on you, go get your brothers, go get your uncles, go get your daddy.
Right.
I don't know if that's happening anymore. I don't know, because a lot of times this is what I hear a lot of times. I hear a lot of times when someone is getting abused, and that person that's getting abused come and tells one of their family members to do something about it. The majority of the times, 7 times out of 10, he's gonna go back. So that tells the person that wants to do something to them to back off, because I don't want to get myself in trouble by helping you, and then I turn around and get thrown in jail and you back with this person.
Yeah.
So that keeps a lot of people from interfering into relationships that have domestic violence in them.
Yes.
What you think?
Oh, I would have to agree with that, because you know, I've witnessed that. I've witnessed that myself, you know, where there's been issues where there's been domestic violence amongst my circle, and, you know, being the male and wanting to step up and do something about it, but then, you know, having to be reminded, or someone, you know, stepping in and saying, hey, man, don't get yourself that involved. Don't do that. You might end up, you know, getting yourself in trouble, hurting someone, or getting hurt. And then tomorrow they will be right back together. So I think that does play a factor when it comes to a lot of these relationships having domestic violence involved, is because a lot of the times the victim feels like they can't reach out, or the predator, the person who is doing the abusing, may feel like, well, she's going to be, or he's going to come right back to me anyway, so their family's not going to do anything about it,
Right.
which will allow the behavior to continue. So yes, I have seen that happen. I have seen that happen. So real quick, let's get into a couple of statistics for y'all to chew on. And when I did this research, it blew my mind, man, to know that these were facts. The statistics that I'm going over come from the National Statistics of Domestic Violence. The National Statistics of Domestic Violence. So all you got to do is go Google the National Statistics of Domestic Violence, and you can get that same information that I'm reading over.
And domestic violence is not only a physical, it's mentally too, right?
Yeah, well, there's different forms of domestic violence. but certain acts commits. Certain violent acts is what makes it domestic violence.
Mhm.
So first and foremost, on there it showed that on an average, listen to this, people.
You guys listen to this.
On an average in the United States, there's 20 people per minute.
20 people
20
per
people
minute.
per minute that are getting physically abused by an intimate partner. And when I first read
And
it, I thought,
that's not even like a family abuse. That's like straight relationship wise.
yes.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry, y'all.
And we should probably,
knows.
yeah. We'll probably have to, I want us to go over the signs of also domestic violence, what to look out for when you see, someone,
Yes.
if the signs are there.
So
Don't you think so?
Well, they could be subtle starting off. So
Yeah.
some people, excuse me, some people are very
You're right.
sneaky. I'm just feeling a little tired.
Oh.
Like I'm trying to come under the weather. Some people are very sneaky and subtle, crafty with their abuse. Some people have learned how to get away with abusing people so long that they can manipulate others into it not looking like it's something wrong.
Mm.
Some people have been victimized so long that they know how to make it seem normal.
Yeah.
So eventually I would say, yeah, the signs will be on the wall, but sometimes you have no idea. But like I said, with that stat, man, when I read that, at first I thought it said on the average, there's one person being physically abused every 20 minutes. And I was like, damn, that's a lot. But then I reread it again and took notes, and it said on average, there's 20 people.
20 people
being physically abused every minute.
And 60 minutes in an hour. So 20 times 60.
That's way too much, man.
That's a lot of people being abused.
1,200 people.
That's a lot of people being abused.
Hour. I can't even imagine that. Fathom that.
Right.
20 people per minute being physically abused in the United States. That's the first stat. It blew my mind, man. So let's talk about this, man. Let's
talk about the incident that happened at A&M. So the incident that happened at A&M was one of the sisters was dating a guy, and he wound up putting his hands on her to the point where one of the sisters was dating a guy, and he wound up putting his hands on her to the point where against him. They picked him up. The police just picked him up, and he was in jail. They gave him a $15,000 bail. Now, I personally think he shouldn't have had no bail at all. That he should have never had a bail. So what happened was the weekend, about 2 weeks ago, the mother threw the two girls' brother a birthday party.
Right.
He was turning 18. So one of the sisters that was in college at A&M came down to see to be with the family. And her other sister told her, well, she had to get back to her dorm. So she told her sister, she said, I'll drive you back. And take the baby, bring the baby. The baby went with her. One of the sisters has a baby. So the baby
2 years old.
Yeah, how old was the baby?
2 years old.
2-year-old baby. And so they went back to the dorm room. I don't know whether this fucking fool was maybe watching them. I don't know if somebody told him where she was. Anyway, the information got back where he was able to go to that dorm room and kill them two girls and shoot that baby. And how they found out was another dorm room, someone in another dorm room called the police and said, hey, there's a bullet hole in my wall. Basically, there's a bullet hole in my wall, and there's another one like it hit my mirror or something. When the police got there, they both were pronounced dead. These young girls was 19 and 20 years old. So now this is where it comes in at what, like I said, how my mama taught me to screen all men. My mama told me to screen, give them, if you got to give them an anal check, I don't give a damn. Screen them, because you never know what a person's background is. What possessed this young man? He's young too.
Yes.
Then on top of that, comes to find out that this young man had also helped commit another murder. Supposedly, accusations, I guess, they say he supposedly helped kill another young man. Was it 2 weeks before that or a week before that?
Several months prior.
Several months prior, he supposedly killed another young man. So this man, I don't even know if I want to call him a man. This young boy is out on a rampage, and I guess he decides that he can't have his way. He can't have her, so he gonna just go and kill her and her sister and shoot the baby. I don't know if the baby was in a crossfire. I don't know. Whatever happened, the baby got shot too, but the baby survived.
The mom was holding the baby.
The mom was holding the baby. You see that? Y'all hear this shit? Something got to be done with ladies, men. I'm not only saying about that men don't get abused too. The men get abused too.
Yes, they do.
But women get, you know. Go ahead and talk.
I'm sorry, everybody. I am.
That frustrated me.
I'm feeling a little under the weather right now.
He has a slight headache, you guys.
If you notice me yarning or blowing my nose, I apologize for that. But yes, this topic is so deep and so heavy, man. You got a comment over there from Lee. Might want to go and read that.
Okay. Lee says, if they are black, they have IGS, that is a disease, ignorant, greedy, selfish. Black folks do not like each other. Action speaks louder than words. Is in my family. She too sovereign. Dennis Smith on the room. The new real is fake. Yeah. Huh? What do you mean, Adrius J? What was it? What you mean, what was it? You guys go and just Google.
All you got to do is
go to YouTube, put in the story.
Google.
2 sisters get killed at A&M.
At Texas
A&M. And the story will come up. Beautiful young girls. I don't give a damn. My thing is, why can't, if a woman don't want to be with you,
yeah, man,
just go on by your fucking business. What the fuck? You gotta, and then to think and have that type of mentality to go to her dorm room and shoot both of them. What sick fuck thinks like that at that age? At 20-some years old, what sick fuck thinks like that? And where did she pick this fool up at? Because everything that looks good on the outside ain't good on the inside. And if these young women don't start reading these men before when they meet them, when I say read them, get to know them. Stop just jumping and thinking that that's the guy for me, and you've been dating them like 2 months, 3 months. That's the man for me. Bringing your kids around them and shit. Same thing with men. Women are crazy too. Let me see. You said what was the topic? Oh, Adrian, the topic is we're talking about domestic violence. Domestic violence, especially amongst our nationality, is really, really heavy, really big, really big. We're talking about the 2 young ladies that got murdered about 2 weeks ago up in at Texas A&M. Two sisters, actually. One sister had took the other sister back to the dorm room, and I don't know how this fool got into their room. I don't know how this fool. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't even say how he got in there. And then you know what's so sad? He don't have no remorse. Evidently, he has no remorse for killing these two girls. You know, and his mother is left with raising an 18-year-old son with her husband and a 3-year-old that don't have big sisters anymore. They don't get a chance to get married. They don't get a chance to have more babies. One had a baby, and the other one don't get a chance. I mean, nothing. They're just gone because of one foolish fool that did not accept the word no. You know, it's just ridiculous. And I know that some of you, we all know someone that has been in domestic violence situation. I'm gonna not name anyone, but I know quite a few females, and also a couple men. Because females, y'all out of pocket because you're a female and you want to run up on your man and hit on him and put your hands on him, and because you're a female, you don't think he's supposed to slap the shit out of you. But at the same time, you got to remember, a female needs to stay in a female place. I believe in that. I don't believe in no female wrestling and tussling with no man. I don't believe in a woman should be horse playing where she's slapping and hitting and all. I don't know. Maybe that's my mom that raised me that way. Thank you, Geraldine. But I was not raised to horseplay with men, you know, and my mom always, my mom was, I know y'all get tired of me talking about my mama, but she was everything to me because she taught me so much, and she was a single parent. And that's the reason why I speak of her so much, because I never knew I would be using her tools in my later life of what she taught me to think the way I think, in a way to be such, and what's the word I'm looking for? Up on everything she taught me. You know, she always taught us to just make sure we know that person we decide to date and we decide to be with, you know. And sometimes, you know, we can raise our kids. We can raise our kids to the best of our ability, and they grow up and they do what the hell they want to do. They date who the hell they want to date. Everybody, I know, I have a daughter, and I always wanted my daughter. I don't know who else is in over here in YouTube. Hit me with an on perk. I don't know how many other females grew up with their mom telling them the shit that my mom told me. Okay, about dating and getting to know a person and knowing their family and know where the background come from, and it was almost like doing a goddamn screening. But I understand that why she did the things she did. My mom had 9 of us. It was 9 of us, and she raised us alone. So the strictness was there because she was trying to protect us from what the fuck we could run into. You know what I mean? So when I started dating in the world, I tried to be very cautious. And I can remember bringing a guy home to the house one time, and my mom said, you know, you always look at a man's shoes. You always look at a man's shoes that'll tell you if you got it, he's able to take care of you, right? But I never tripped on that. But that shit was so true. It was so real when she said that. Are you okay?
I'm feeling a little under the weather.
Are you getting sick on me?
I hope not. So I'm going to have to remove myself from tonight's episode. Unfortunately, y'all, I need to get better. So
this is
you are definitely handling it. This is a topic that you.
Oh God, I never did it by myself.
I know.
He's putting me on blast.
She doing good, y'all, right? If y'all think she's doing good and she got this, y'all, please message her on Purnt, ONPURNT. Let her know that she got this, and if she need help, y'all gonna help her get through.
Oh my goodness.
But your boy gotta get better, man. I'm not feeling good right now. I love y'all. Salute. Love you, baby. I'm out.
All right, you go get well.
Yes. My bad, y'all.
You want to take your phone? I'll get the screen from here and I'll tag you in this one.
Yep, that's fine.
Sorry,
right,
you guys.
My bad, man. I'm out.
All right, you guys. You're with you. It's your girl. You're with your girl, and so that means you got me for the night on Print Media. Okay, I have a comment over here on YouTube. Wanda says that's some crazy ass mental shit. Hell, I was in a physical abuse situation. After the second incident of verbal abuse, it was over. Mind you, we had been married for 7 years. Wow. Oh, she okay. I tell him you say feel better. I don't know. He just started feeling a little wheezy earlier, so shit happens, right? Oh, I didn't know all these people was in here. I'm sorry. Let me send you guys a wave. Lee say it is a nice day. So if anybody got any stories where you know some incidents that happened, what happened to that person? If anybody got any solutions, you know, we gotta find solutions. We gotta be. You gotta be able to notice when one of your family members come over to the house, and because I've been around it. I've been around domestic violence. I almost experienced a little bit, but I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I'm a crazy motherfucker, because if you put your hands on me at any point, it's not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna stand and let anybody, especially in a relationship, put their hands on me and turn around and tell me you love me. And then later on you're ready to have sex, and then the next day you're ready to beat my ass again. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You know, and a lot of women, I think, go through that because they feel insecure. They feel unloved. They feel like they're looking for love in the wrong place. They may feel that their self-esteem is down. There's different, and also there are times when the person that's whooping their ass is threatening them and telling them if they tell anybody what they may do to them or may do to their family. You know, and that's the sad part about it, because you should be able to, but you can't blame the victim unless they keep going back. I don't know. That's the part I want to get to. I want to get to the part where, what do we do when they keep going back? When that person is getting their ass whooped, getting hit upside the head, coming over to your house trying to hide behind makeup, or you know, you even got men that are very timid, men that are very quiet, and they don't like to fight with a woman, so they don't want to be. But the woman is have so many. I won't even say manly qualities, but she has so much aggression till, you know, when you get in an argument, she ready to run up on you, put her hands on you. She ready to spit on you. She ready to talk to you hella crazy. There are men that go through abuse too. There are men that go through abuse, and it needs to be called out. Woman or man, whoever you are, you shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody if you're in a relationship. I don't give a damn if you ain't in a relationship. I'm talking about, you got family abuse, you got domestic violence abuse, with you're in a relationship. You got it's just something got to be done about it, especially in our culture. It is very heavy in our culture, and I don't know why it's so heavy amongst our nationality. Um, Can somebody answer that question for me? Why do you think that domestic violence is very heavy amongst our nationality? I need somebody to just at least answer. Why do you think it is? I'm sorry, you guys. My co-host had to leave. He wasn't feeling good, so I'm having to handle the show tonight alone. But it's okay. It's okay. I may not give you guys a 2-hour show, but I will give you up until the time we go off and came on that was, I think we came on like 8:45. So we'll work it from there. But I really need you guys to talk to me through the messages or come on my live and just basically tell me, why is it that so many women sit back? This is from a woman's perspective now, guys. There are so many women that sit back and allow a man to abuse them and then turn around and tell them they love them. Why? Why is that? Okay, he wrote down some notes here. The second note, he says, 1 in 25%, 1 in 4 women, 1 in 9 men have experienced severe, intimate physical violence or stalking. Okay, that's crazy. And another thing that gets me is that I know they got all these dating sites out here and all of these ways you meet people through social media and things like that. But let me tell you guys, the best way you can meet anybody is face to face. Get to know somebody before you just meet them through the internet or through a social media site, and then all of a sudden you're starting to date him, but you don't know nothing about him. You don't know where he stayed. He ain't sent you, brought you to his house. And we older women start to continue to set examples for the younger women that are coming up. Start showing wholesome relationships and that there are good men out there. There are good men in the world. All men are not bad. I don't believe that. I don't believe all men are bad. I'm gonna move this back a little bit because it's just too close on me. I don't believe that all men are bad, but I do believe that you have to do your due diligence and do your research. Go out on dates. Go, be careful. Be careful, but get to know the person. That's the whole word about it. Get to know the person. Okay, we got a comment over here by Lee. Hey Wayne, how are you? When you have a problem, you are part of it. But remember that a solution comes with the problem, the real world. Yes, that's true, Wayne. That's true. Wanda says, I actually was arrested that one and only time as an advocate in a group facilitator against domestic. You must inform people. Do not be silent. And at the first sign of verbal abuse, it's a signal. Huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe that. I believe that some of the signs of abuse is when that person starts to get quiet. They're no longer act like themselves when they're around that person. They're cool when they ain't around them. Oh, they're themselves and everything. But when that person comes around, they're no longer themselves. So you start thinking, why is this person not talking? What happened? What's going on? Um, Also bruises, injuries. What happened to you? Oh, I just tripped and fell. Really? And you did that from tripping and falling? You know what I mean? So I can tell y'all some incidents that I never have ever seen my mom abused. My mother, you would not put your hands on my mama, and she was 4'11". That was an incident in my life. I won't say with who, where I'm not calling people names out because I'm not trying to get sued by nobody, but there was an incident where a person that I knew, boyfriend, and I didn't know that person was doing that to them until they tried to do it in front of me and my family. They tried to do it in front of me and my family. And when they did that, it was hell to pay. But see, back then, families would protect each other like that. If your brother knew that a man was putting his hands on you, at least my brothers, if they knew a man was trying to put that, I never, like I said, I had that happen, I think one time, and my brothers was like, nah, that ain't gonna work because we gonna tap that ass. But not everybody got brothers like that. So what do a person do who's scared, afraid, and don't have anybody else to go to? I would love to work with someone, some kind of type of organization that's where I can speak on domestic violence. Like I said, I'm not a person that's been through it, like beating and all that, because I know I'll probably be dead by now, or they will be dead. One of us gonna die. One of us will have to die, because you're not gonna be hitting on me and thinking we finna lay down and be good in bed and everything back to normal. No, you probably would have found your balls in your mouth the next day if you would have woke up and not bled out. So that ain't gonna happen. But just knowing people that has happened to, I remember like a couple of years ago, I knew at least 3 or 4 women at one time that was being abused. They was being literally beat up. And that's not what relationships are about. If you gotta beat me to tell me you love me, you can't love me, because love, that ain't love. Love don't come where you're able to just whoop my ass and then we turn around and sit down and eat dinner. No. And until women start to realize that, but I think it comes a lot from not loving yourself. When you don't love yourself, you probably let anything happen to you. You probably will let someone do anything to you when you don't love yourself. How many of y'all think that? How many of y'all think that women allow abuse because they don't love themselves? I think that's the reason. So I think it should be a little, I think people should get some type of self-esteem. In order to get that self-esteem, it takes people like us that has a high self-esteem to help them, to let them know they're beautiful, to call them and check on them. We don't do a lot of that no more. That's how a lot of shit get by us, because we don't stop and call our friends no more just to check on them. We don't do it. We think everything is good. Before you know it, somebody got killed, and then, oh, what happened to him? Girl, somebody shot her, or somebody hurt her, or whatever. That's what we do. But we don't call and check on our people no more just to see how they're doing, I got a comment over here. You can research and know someone and yet mentally unstable due to drugs, alcohol, and medication. Mental health issues can cause people to turn violent. Self-defense classes. Right. I believe that. You can research and know someone and yet mental instability due to drugs, alcohol, and medication. Mental health issues can cause people to turn violent. Yes, indeed. That is true. Mental health issues, or you didn't know they was crazy before you start dating them. That's why I say get to know the person before you start dating them. Get to know them. And when getting to know them don't mean jumping into bed with them. You know what I'm saying? You meet people these days and everybody want to jump into bed and go have some sex. And sex gonna come regardless, though. Sex gonna come regardless. No, one to say no is fear factor tactics, strong will, and refusing to be abused by taking action. Right. I think that's When you say it's a fear factor tactic, what you mean? When they tell them that they better not tell nobody? Yeah. Okay, I got a comment over here. Hey Nathan, Eddie, Tatiana. Okay, Lisa, a male is a female's fool. She can make him do many things. All women are crazy. Crazy. All men are fools in different ways. Women are crazy in different ways. Lee, what are you talking about? What are you confusing me? You confuse me every time you come on my live. You saying women, a male is a female's fool? A fool is I don't want to get into that. Yeah, I know. 1 of 5 men have been physical abused. Okay, she can make him do many things. All women are crazy. Okay. So, I don't know about all that. So, and then when it comes to men, I think I spoke on this a little bit earlier also, is that women, they are, hey, Lynn, how are you? Good to see you, to know you here. We're speaking on domestic violence tonight. I wanted to do a topic on domestic violence because there was an incident that happened 2 weeks ago where 2 young women were killed by one of the female's boyfriend. One of the female's boyfriend went up to Texas A&M and shot both of them and killed both of them. Are you back? You feel better? I think we may have him back, you guys. He had to go he had to go freshen up. So, Lynn just joined the room.
Hey sis, how you doing? I apologize again to everybody for leaving the room abruptly. I had a little episode. You're doing a good job though. I overheard while I was going through it.
Thank you.
Good job.
So we're talking about, like, I was just telling Lynn exactly what we was talking about, the 2 people that was killed. The 2 sisters that was killed at A&M, at Texas A&M.
Such a sad story.
And if you see if you guys go and Google the story, 2 beautiful young women, you can see they were so happy, full of life, enjoying life, and they're no longer here to do any of that.
My heart bleeds for everybody involved, but that father, man, you could see he's not a very old man.
Right.
He's a young man. Look like he and I could probably be, similar in age bracket.
Yeah.
And you ever see someone that is in such pain that they conduct themselves in a normal fashion, but through all of that, you can see the hurt.
He's hurting. Yeah, he's hurting.
Man, that man's his whole world has been ripped apart. Yeah. Within a matter of 24 hours.
Just that quick.
Then I heard you earlier. As I was researching, the statistics, as I hope you guys do too. They have statistics on men and women in there. And in this country and in a society, when we speak on domestic violence, we often seem to single it to men abusing women. And unfortunately, that is the case in most incidents. The majority of domestic violence cases are a female victim and a male, suspect or predator.
Yeah.
But that's not all the time. And there was stats. I'm good. There was stats on there that showed how much domestic violence men are going through as well. And as she was saying, man, 1 in every 5 men that have been in intimate relationships has been abused by a female partner.
Wow.
So
you guys hear that?
You figure you line 10 dudes up.
Hey, Kimberly.
And out of them 10, 2 of them done had hands put on them.
Right.
And I want to say that I got a feeling that number is probably greater than that, because here's the thing. These are statistics from reports and records.
Yeah.
I would tend to think that there's probably more men being abused or assaulted by their intimate partners, but they're not reporting it as much.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to society, because a man's not supposed to hurt. A man's not supposed to cry. A man's not supposed to be in fear.
Right.
But there's a lot of cases where these men are in relationships as well, where they are just abused. And not only the feeling of codependency, can I do better, low self-esteem, then on top of that, you have to deal with, here I am, a male, and I'm going through this. So that can be swept under the rug a lot. And I think that's something that we had to address and look at that side as well. And like I said, it doesn't happen as much and as often, but we do have to realize that domestic violence goes both ways, and domestic violence is not just isolated to people who are mates in an intimate relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a mom and daughter. It can be, 2 sisters.
Yeah.
Domestic violence is just, in-home family violence. And it's got to stop, y'all, because it's getting to the point to where not only people are going through it, but we're starting to lose lives behind it. It's crazy.
I just wonder, after they being beat so long, what stops them from getting tired and telling and saying? Why do they keep going back? I think that's what I wonder the most is, what make them keep going back, even when they know they got a loving family that they trying to hide all this shit from. They know if they told their family, this person will probably get their ass whooped or something. Why they don't tell? What keeps them from telling?
Well, the research also stated that when it comes to domestic violence, the physical abuse is usually the last level or form of abuse.
The physical.
The physical. There's always emotional, mental, and verbal abuse that takes place prior. And so I think, this is just my opinion, I think a lot of times what happened is that these people go through so much emotional and mental abuse. I think I heard somebody speaking about self-esteem earlier.
I was saying about self-esteem.
I think that they go through the emotional and mental abuse so much to where their self-esteem is riddled. They no longer have that sensor that says, I'm better than this.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than this. I'm more than this. Which then allows for the physical portion of the abuse to start to come along. And now you have this person actually putting their hands on you, physically abusing you, on top of all of the mental abuse that you've been dealing with. I think that is what allows for people to feel like it's better if they just deal with it.
So do you think most abusers have seen it at home?
I think that they've learned that behavior somewhere.
somewhere.
Definitely,
I say that too.
definitely.
I think they've seen it at home. They've seen it among something, and and I don't know. I can't say it's a gene or something, but
No, it's not.
yeah, because you
it's
can
a
stop.
behavior pattern.
Yeah, it's a behavior. Yeah,
It's a behavior pattern
Yeah.
because
you can stop yourself.
behavior is acts that you carry out based off the things that you've seen, learned, or know to be true. So these things are taught to us. You know what I'm saying? What we believe in and the way we act is taught to us. But
Yeah.
the same thing on the flip side, it can be untaught,
Mm-hmm.
or we can relearn new behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up in a home where early on there was domestic violence, and my mom wasn't having that shit. Like you said, first sign of it, she
You gotta go.
busted him upside the head with something,
Straight across his damn.
separated
boot.
herself from that. But that was something that I did see, so I could have grown up in, and I witnessed it as well with my grandparents. My grandfather at times would engage in different forms of domestic violence.
Mhm.
So it wasn't nothing brand new to me, but that's why I say just because you are exposed to it or you see it, this is a behavior that you see, doesn't mean that you have to take on
that behavior. Mhm.
Because I saw that and was exposed to it, and that was my motivation and my fuel to make sure that I didn't conduct myself in that behavior when I was dealing with a female. So yes, I think that those who is that? Yes, Lynn said, hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very true statement.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt people hurt people. And that's exactly what we're talking about. People like that, they've been hurt, they've been through some pain, they've been through some type of abuse more than likely themselves, and now they feel that this is all they know, and they're just living out that behavior.
Let me read. Okay. Yeah, comment over here. Kimberly say comfortable situations they don't tell because family don't want to get involved. Some feel like they don't love you if they don't hit you. That's true. Lee say there is always signs for the time that it happened. They don't pay the sign. They don't pay the sign no attention. Yeah.
And then what's the last one you read over here?
You gonna hear you was.
I'm good. Pray for brothers to be well. I hope so. Ooh wee.
And then Lynn say many.
Ashamed.
Go ahead.
Lynn says many feel ashamed to tell. Yes. And Wanda said the loss of life of the two kids killed by the mother's boyfriend in Sac. A friend was their grandfather. Any form of violence is very devastating, no doubt.
Yeah.
And one more. Go ahead.
One says a lot of cases are because of fear of no place to go, or think that they are protecting family members. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said earlier. A lot of them get told that if you go and tell that I'm gonna kill your family, I'm gonna hurt your family, so a lot of them do that. I think when I was dating, the first sign of anything I don't give a damn if you finna tell me you can't wear them heels no more. Back in the day, you finna tell me what not to wear, because I was my own woman, So I always had a smart ass mouth anyway, but I always knew the type of man that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And if I've seen any kind of sign of anything, you finna tell me what to do, put your hands on me, all that shit, it was a no-no. It wasn't gonna happen. Nah.
So listen to what you said, because that's powerful. I, from what you said, I decipher from that. Basically, you grew up, and when it came to your involvement with men and dating, you had certain boundaries
Yes, very much.
that you set.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time that a man either stepped outside of those boundaries or tried to get you to step outside of your boundaries,
that's right.
that was a red flag, and you automatically
Done.
let them go. So,
Done.
ladies, gentlemen, those of you
And
that
it-
are in relationships,
Yeah.
that's on the dating scene, single, considering
And
dating,
they come in different
or
forms.
in
You
a
can see it in
relationship.
different forms. When he want to tell you what to wear, when he want to tell you you can't hang out with your girls, because a lot of women think that shit is cute. Oh, girl, he told me he don't want me to go nowhere tonight because he loved me. He wants to spend time with me. But you've been in the house all motherfucking week. You was going before you met him, but all of a sudden everything just you drop your girlfriends and stop fucking around.
So, I think that is a very helpful piece of advice for dating in general. Men and women, when you're dating, even in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, 25, 30 years into a marriage,
Right.
it's very important to set boundaries. Boundaries are limitations, parameters, uh, proverbial lines in the sand that you draw, where you just aren't going to allow certain things to happen, or you expect for certain things to happen. Well, let's not say expect, but you set it up to where certain things should happen, and if they don't, it's outside of that boundary. I think that is so important.
Yeah.
Like I heard somebody else saying, we be so quick to, when we date somebody, to just press fast forward, and get to the sex and and
that's
the intimacy and all of that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Shit.
Set those boundaries first.
Jumping in the bed quick and all that.
Set those boundaries for yourself and
and
stick to the boundaries, because it's just like goal setting. We can write a goal down, or we can set boundaries all we want to, but if we're not actually putting no work in play to complete them, it's all for nothing. So the same thing when it comes to the boundaries. Set those boundaries, but when you set them boundaries, you got to stick to them.
Right. That's right.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that is very.
Well, I just think it will avoid a lot of things that take place in relationships, anyways. Never long it's gonna set a perimeter where, you know, when you see this guy say, did I tell you can't wear that skirt outside this to the club with your girls? Did I tell you that? And then as soon before you can do anything, he just slap the fuck out you, because now you thinking you can get ready to say something. Well, no, I'm my own woman. Or when you see shit like that, that is the straight sign to let that man go. Same thing with women, because you got crazy ass women out there too. You got crazy women out there that don't want their man to dress like this. Don't want their man. I had one girl tell me her man can't go to the gym because she like him fat.
Yeah. Sure did.
Mind you, he wasn't fat. Nice sized young man. He liked to work out. But he don't go to the gym because his woman says, I don't like my man to go to the gym. Because there's other women at the gym. They could be looking at him and are you serious? And he was good with it.
And that's another form. It's not domestic violence,
right? But it's
another form of abuse. That's the controlling. The being possessive. And,
that's why I say it come in different shapes and forms.
Yeah, and see that's a difference too. Domestic violence is something completely different from abuse. Abuse takes on different shapes.
Yeah.
It can be verbal, mental,
That's
emotional.
true.
Domestic violence. Domestic violence
Hey, Sherman.
is physical abuse in the form of hitting, spitting, scratching, biting, punching, kicking, etc.
Right. Mhm.
But then there are other forms of abuse, which can be intimate physical abuse, sexual violence, sexual violent sexual contact, and or even stalking.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
So
Yeah.
I wanted
I
to
went
make
through
sure
that.
that we know the difference between the
Mhm.
two,
Mhm.
abuse or physical abuse versus domestic violence.
Yeah.
So once again, domestic violence is when it involves one or two or more people in the same dwelling or family where there's severe intimate physical abuse, sexual abuse, and or violent sexual contact, violence in the form of hitting, biting, scratching, punching, kicking, etc. And then physical abuse, intimate physical abuse itself can be just that, or violent sexual contact, or even verbal abuse and or stalking. So once again, we just wanted to clear that up so that
Yeah.
y'all notice the difference.
Because if you got someone,
Either one is no bueno,
right? Yeah.
no good. You should not be dealing with it at
Because if
all.
you got somebody calling you stupid, ignorant, bitch, asshole, whatever, all the derogatory names, they're
That's
mentally
abuse.
abusing you. They're
You're being
mentally
abused.
abusing you. And if you're sitting around allowing it to happen, don't think that's love. That's not love. Love don't come like that. Please believe me, it don't come like that. You know, you got people out there that there are men and there are women out there that can truly, honestly love you for who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to sit around and allow someone to just talk to you hella crazy and do hella shit to you, male or female. I don't agree with that shit. If you're a female and you're doing it, I don't agree. I don't agree with that one at all, because you shouldn't. A woman should always remain a woman. You don't need to be fighting with no man. Fighting with a man for what? You know, and if you got to fight with a woman or you got to fight with a man, you don't need to be together.
Mhm.
You don't need to be together. If you got to live in any relationship and fight with each other, you need to leave it. Please believe it. It's not healthy.
Only way I'm fighting with my woman is if I'm getting beat up and she jumping in.
Right, that's a different story now. That's a different story. Yeah, I don't do no fighting. I'm too old to fight.
One more statistic for y'all. One more statistic before we end the night. Man, this one blew my mind as
I
well.
wanted us if I asked them what kind of solutions can we get
Definitely.
before we leave out.
Check this stat out, y'all. 1 in every 7 women and 1 in every 25 men have been severely injured by violence from an intimate partner. One more time. 1 in every 7 women and 1 in every 25 men have been severely injured. What's up, Rico? Did you hear that? I don't think that y'all heard that shit.
That's a lot.
In every 7 women.
Right.
And 1 out of every 25 men.
Wow.
In the whole United States of America.
In America.
Has been severely injured by an intimate partner. And severe injury, that's broken bones, lacerations, stitches, contusions,
shot,
stabbed, killed, strangulation. 1 in every 7 women? 1 in every 7 women? You line 7 women up, 1 of them out of every 7 then had this done to them?
That's a lot. So
and to go even colder, 1 out of every 25 men.
Right, right.
And like I said, we know that the men's statistics is probably skewed because men ain't calling in and reporting that shit.
Right. Well, see, because they think that because men don't report abuse because they've been taught to say that's not being a man.
That's not men.
Right. She can't be hurting you like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
You better not cry.
Yeah. But
suck it up.
There are some women out there that are literally will hurt a man.
Man, listen.
They will literally hurt a man, abuse him. Man. You know, so
especially not to typecast or stereotype anyone, but the number of men facing domestic violence in the southern part of the United States.
Wow, you looked at that?
Yes, in the southern part of the United States doubles versus any other section.
Why and why do you think that? I'll tell you why I think that, and you tell me why you think that in the southern states.
Well, for one,
I know. Go ahead.
I would say one thing that I think contributes to it is goes back to what we was talking about before, where a lot of times females will go through abuse, but they won't reach out to nobody because they don't want to get their family involved.
You think that's a southern thing?
No, I think.
Okay, what do you think it happens so much in the South?
I think that the women is putting their hands on men in the South more than anywhere else, because first and foremost, I think that the men in the South hold a higher respect for women.
That's one of I believe that. I believe definitely
your mama, your sisters, your aunties, your female cousins, your
I believe that. I believe that.
So when they get a phone call, Johnny done put his hands on.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Luann, Mary Beth. Them brothers is coming.
Well, that's true too. That's
and
part
they
of
gonna fuck you up.
That's part of it.
So when a woman knows this motherfucker is doing something I don't like, whatever, we into it. He hit me, I'm hitting him back, or I'm gonna take off first, because if it get that bad, he kill me, whatever. My brothers is coming.
Okay.
My cousins is coming.
I think, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. That's where I grew up. That's where I grew up. That's where I grew up in the South. If you put your hands on me, you're a man. My brothers, my uncles, fuck my brother, my uncles is coming. My mother had a bunch of uncles, and they was all crazy.
Right. I think that's one of the reasons, because men have they got that mechanism inside of them down there where they protect women.
I think
at all.
I'm gonna tell you what one of the real reasons why I think men accept more abuse down south, because when you're growing up in the South, you're taught to be with your family no matter what.
No matter what happens.
No matter what she do or he do, you are married to this person. You cannot divorce this person. Do not bring shame on this family. Don't bring shame on this family. If you divorce this person, oh baby, he ain't gonna hit you no more, child. If he hit you again, honey, just call your brother.
So that go back to the beliefs.
Exactly.
The beliefs.
They stay there and they accept that because they know that they've been with this person so long. Everybody's gonna say the same thing to him. Nobody's gonna tell him, leave that motherfucker. You better leave that bitch. Yeah, that bitch crazy. They may tell you that, turn around and still be telling you, but boy, you know she got a good job now. You know she be cooking good.
Now I was just about to say.
Yeah, all that shit takes place. Do you
think that it could also possibly have something to do with that? The men on the West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast.
Intimate women pick from.
Not only is it more right.
Intimate women pick from.
The selection of women, I think, is more.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I think that a lot of the men, and this is no knock on men down south,
right?
But I think that in general, overall, I think that the progression level of the men in those other regions has surpassed the progression of a lot of men in the South. Whereas, and that's when I say that, I mean educationally, financially,
What?
and professionally.
What?
That besides the entertainers coming out of Atlanta and celebrities, just the average Joe Blows living down south, they are not as progressive when it comes to education and finances as brothers from New York, California, and the Midwest.
Is that because they haven't seen the rest of the world, or they just stuck in?
Well, I think that's because of the lack of opportunities that's presented to them in a lot of the areas down there.
Well, hell, they all you gotta do is give and leave.
But it sounds good. But if that's the case, then you would have the greatest migration ever, and we would barely have anybody in the South. Still.
That may be true too, but
you got generations of people who have lived in the South. They great grandfather lived on the same block.
I'm telling you, man, it got
So when the men was turning around and they seeing this and they seeing that they not really progressing,
so you just
it's almost a settling. You almost settle.
You get comfortable in your comfort zone,
like somebody said before, you get complacent and you will settle. Because it's not like like you said, it's not like they've interacted with women from Chicago and New York. Nowadays, you got the internet and stuff, but I'm talking about on a daily basis where you actually interacting with somebody and they culturing you and they telling you about the way they live and showing you different things and shit. They don't see that. You know how it is when we go back and forth down south. A lot of the men down there, the mindset is hopelessness. Because of their circumstances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that allows them to be put in a position to where they subjugated to abuse more.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Out here
it comes back to, and then you got to think about it. There's at least 10 women to one man down there.
Right.
So when the man is out there, he got that good one. You know what I'm saying? He's most likely is going to stay with her because there's a lot of women to one man. Out here, there's probably equal.
See, but my thing is, my mentality would be, if I know y'all come a dime a dozen where I'm at, I'm not going to sit back.
That's what I'm saying.
Abused by
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But you would think that down south is like that.
But it's not.
And
that's why I say I think it's more so the mentality of the men down there.
I think wherever you're located, no matter where you.
And then think about this too: the mannerisms. Men down south, most women don't get too disrespectful. But a man down south, it seems like their tolerance when it comes to disrespect is higher too, because of what they was taught and how they was taught. Don't disrespect a woman, no matter what she does. Never put your hands on a woman. Always,
definitely.
So a woman can get drunk, go crazy, whatever, reach back, strike a man down there, and they'll do the man thing.
Well,
and be like, don't put your hands on me no more. Restrain her. Somebody come get her. Blah 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 blah.
Compared to
New York, Chicago,
compared to a guy out here in California, if you put your hands on
these niggas out here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because down south, you're taught, as I was taught it. I was taught not to put my hand, fight with, wrestle with men. I was taught to always be a lady at all times. I was taught when you get married, you're married forever. You never divorce. You know what I'm saying?
So I think culturally.
So if he's kicking my ass, I'm supposed to sit there and continue to let him kick my ass. You got me fucked up, and I learned that from California.
Real talk.
I learned that my mother, I never seen my mother get abused, and she's never been in an abusive relationship. And she'd probably shoot you first. But she was no joke. But she taught us to be, when we was picking our mate, to be careful. That was her biggest thing. She said, I don't want to worry about you guys when you get into relationships. And so she screamed every guy that came to the house. She was like, nope, he's not going to be good for you. And we didn't understand. And we was like, she just hating. You know what I'm saying? But I understand.
She was saving.
If you're going to get a man, make sure he's smart. That's all she used to say. Make sure he's smart.
Go back up. You got top.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then I'm going to read some over here on YouTube.
Okay.
So on YouTube, Wanda says, Same here, Queen. Sherman said, on point, big cuzzo. Sorry I haven't been in touch. Sherman said, hey, what's up, Sherman? And Wanda says, on point, the boundaries set from the jump. Man, big sis, if it's any advice that I could give anybody on anything, that just don't fall for a relationship. That's like anything in life.
Yeah.
You gotta set boundaries. If you're dealing with a relationship, if it's your partners, your homies, your job, your lover, whatever, niggas you get money with, whatever, you gotta set boundaries, and they gotta be known.
Just dealing with people in period in life
and clear. And not only setting them, you gotta stick to your guns.
Stick to them now.
Coming up with these fancy ass boundaries and I'm not gonna allow this. And then you turn around and you do that shit.
Yeah.
A manipulator, an abuser, a predator. See, you try to boss up. Oh, you can't do this to me. Oh, I'm not allowing this, that, and the other. And as soon as you fall and drop that guard, oh, it's really on. So set y'all boundaries, man, and stick to the motherfucking boundaries. Don't let nobody take you outside of them boundaries you set. And you ain't even got to tell
would you
people
say,
what they is sometimes. Boundaries.
Would you say that's one of the most important thing that when it comes to dating in especially in the new world we're living in, all women and all men should set boundaries when it comes to dating off the top?
Absolutely. See, because here's the thing. You should have a certain set of boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
What I will, won't allow, how far I will, won't go. You know, what is and ain't gonna be accepted for me. Okay, them is your personal boundaries. So when you dealing with somebody and they try to take you outside of them boundaries you done set for yourself, you know, no, I'm cool. That's not the person for me. Because it's gonna be too much of a struggle.
Right.
It's gonna be a constant.
Yeah. It's like teeth pulling.
Exactly.
It's like teeth pulling.
I got these boundaries already set. You trying to go against the grain.
And you know what?
It ain't worth it.
I think that's what really helped me in life. I didn't really I wasn't realize I was setting boundaries. I was just living life because that's the way my mama taught me.
Right.
But I understand as I got older, that's what I was doing. Is setting boundaries. She was grooming us to know how to set boundaries for ourselves and the people we deal with.
That
you know,
so important. Man.
Yeah.
It's so. I mean, it's in anything, man. You do business. You a mechanic. You fix cars. You gotta have boundaries. I'm not fixing no motherfucking diesels. I'm not doing no jobs that take more than 6 hours or whatever. And I'm not doing a job that's less than 50. Whatever it is, you gotta set your boundaries and stick to them. And when you do that, other people go respect that shit.
Yeah. Or
they go push away from you, and that's cool too.
So I would tell any young lady, because I even told my husband this a couple of weeks ago, and I always say this, and this is family, friends, relationships, especially in relationships that you're supposed to be in love with your mate, is that my mom taught me how to love unconditionally. She taught me how to love people unconditionally, but she didn't teach me how to let go. She didn't teach me how to let go. She didn't teach me that it's okay, baby. It's okay. You don't have to keep holding on. If it's not right, it's not right. She didn't teach me that. She didn't teach me that. So just because you're in a relationship and you feel that you have to stay there because someone keeps telling you or somebody told you that you got to continue to love this person that's beating your ass. If it don't fit, don't force it. You don't have to continue to love that person that's beating your ass.
How the song go? If it don't fit, don't force it.
No.
Shit.
If that man or woman, I'm not gonna just be on the men's case. I'm talking about you women too. Because there's some dirty motherfucking women out there too that's doing some crazy ass shit. You know,
can't make nobody love you like you want to be loved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get to some of these comments real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
You got some over there on Facebook too.
Do you want me to read her?
Yeah, you go ahead on. You go on Facebook.
Okay, Lee says.
Go back up because you got more than that.
Oh.
Yeah, keep
Okay,
going, keep going.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Lisa, when you're in the picture, you can't see the picture.
Hmm.
Love is love will make you do foolish things. A woman's sweetness is a man's weakness.
Hmm.
Two people can't be in love at the same. Two people can't be in love at the same time. Don't get it twisted. 60, 40, 70s, 30s, 90s, 10s. Hey, Mac Johnson. Jamel Lewis is watching. Okay, so go ahead and read your the
All
comments
right.
over here.
So
Thank you guys for joining in to On Point Media.
appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you guys
Appreciate
for
y'all on
coming in.
Facebook too.
Really do.
One love. So Wanda was saying on point, the boundaries set from the jump. A man cannot call me out of my name. It is disrespectful and a form of abuse. Nor put your hands on me. I don't call no man daddy. That's just me.
Hmm.
Sherman said, nowadays the laws are different.
Mm-hmm.
Sherman, I need you to reiterate on that. What you mean by that when you say now the laws is different? What was you meaning by that?
Okay.
And then Wanda said, it's all too real. We live in a world of violence and shattered minds. Women raised with brothers usually have a mindset to defend themselves. Brothers teach you to defend yourself. Family one and family is all. Okay. Sister Lynn says standards. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
within those boundaries, you're gonna have certain standards that you just not gonna go for.
Yeah, because it's crazy. I know I'm stuck in the 80s, you guys. I apologize because the shit that happens today in today's society, it really
Don't feel bad. Ain't nothing wrong.
It fucks me up because it's like we didn't know women that was getting abused, and when we knew someone that was getting abused, oh, it was gonna be on. Somebody was gonna be in fucking trouble. Yeah, you can't. News. Man, I had a family member. Let me tell you this.
Well,
I ain't gonna get into. I'm not gonna say the name.
I was gonna say no. I was gonna say I can't say that because I witnessed a lot of domestic violence.
Yeah, that's
in the 80s too. Because that was for me growing up in Oakland. That was like the tail end of the real heavy pimp era and the beginning of the real drug infestation. So I witnessed a lot of domestic violence and abuse growing up, but it was not just in the house. It wasn't like you go over your partner house and you see his mama getting her ass whipped by the daddy or vice versa. It was more just in the street.
Right.
Type of violence. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's why I was saying last week when we did. Was it last week when we did the love thing or
spreading the love
or something? It was last week. That's why I was saying when we was talking. When you went over to your friends' houses when I was growing up, you go over to your girlfriend's house, you didn't see mom and daddy arguing. You didn't see the kids fighting. You seen love, mom and dad sitting at the table talking or having a cup of coffee or the kids playing some type of game. Everybody sitting up playing Monopoly. It was love. You seen nothing but love. Daddies was at home. They went out in the street, and if they were doing some shit, I guarantee you didn't know it. And you know what I'm saying? It was just that smooth.
We gotta also address the elephant in the room because I think that a lot of the domestic violence that we seeing and that we witnessing, especially with these younger, and you know what, man, damn, it's cold because it seems like a lot of the shit that we are witnessing and seeing is happening with this younger generation.
Oh yeah.
You know what? But guess what, youngsters? I'm not coming down on y'all like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Y'all do have a great level of responsibility that y'all got to be accountable for, no matter what. That. Y'all got to be accountable for some shit too. But on the flip side, I must play devil's advocate and say, youngsters, I feel y'all pain. Youngsters, I understand. Because unlike y'all, when I was 19, 18 years old, well, going before that, because I was already in the Marines and shit.
And you were mine at 19.
Yeah, I was causing violence. I was fucking shit up, shooting shit at 19. So, but prior to that, prior to that, as a kid, you know, 10, 11, 12 years old, you know, before I got off on my own and started to venture into the streets, inside of my household, I seen nothing but love.
Love, man.
Even though it was a single mother home,
man.
I seen two sets of grandparents.
Man, yeah, you was blessed.
I seen a mom and a stepfather.
Right. That loved you,
that
though.
Loved me. Uncle,
you know,
giving me nothing but game, guiding me. Aunties loving on me, second and third and fourth mothers.
Yeah.
And the most violent thing that we might see in the house was a movie on TV.
Right.
And if it was too violent, our mama or our dad was like, cut that shit off.
Right. You wasn't going to even watch it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They didn't even have to put parental guidance.
It wasn't no censoring
Mama was
back
parental
then.
guidance.
You know, they tell you, hey, parental advisory, that's it.
You're right.
And your parents make that decision. Oh, this is too much for mine. Get your ass in the room.
Right. Exactly.
Saying all of that to say, nowadays, these youngsters,
hey, Denise.
These youngsters is so. These youngsters are so exposed to
everything.
Mass amounts of violence.
So much. Everything.
The video game.
Yes.
Fortnite.
Yes.
Minecraft.
Yes. But hold on.
Grand Theft Auto.
Hold on.
All that shit is ultra violent.
But check this out. It's ultra violent, but the motherfucking parents are letting them see it.
Yes, they are. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Society has now created the narrative for parents that if your kids ain't playing
you ain't gotta follow it.
PlayStation, that's true. That is true. But you got to also understand that that's coming from a 50-year-old parent mindset.
Right. That's true.
That's not coming from a
see your child in me.
That's not coming from a
see your child in me.
19-year-old, 20-year-old parent in 2020.
I'm gonna start a boot camp whooping kids' ass.
In 2020, it's all about instant gratification and convenience. Nowadays, these parents will rather download an app.
Yes, and let them read a book from the app.
To help babysit the child.
Help babysit the child. That's
then
right.
to sit their ass down and put that time in.
Yes, sir.
So youngsters, I understand y'all. Youngsters, I understand the shit y'all going through.
Yes.
Because you wake up in the morning. As soon as you wake up, if you got a phone, the first thing you see in your phone, more than likely 9 times out of 10, that's for any of us. When first time we open up our phone in the morning, it's some fuck shit, some sex, or some violence.
Right.
It ain't 9 times out of 10 something positive, something spiritual, or something uplifting. That's what these youngsters got to deal with.
Yeah.
Then they go to school and they got to deal with the Joneses, the keeping up, the comparatives, the you ain't got this, you ain't got that, the keeping up with the Joneses, the being exposed to sex and different types of shit and what's your sexuality? Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Motherfuckers getting beat up and pushed out on Facebook, Instagram Live, all this shit.
Right.
We did not have to deal with that shit.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. And also when we, like you said, our moms and our dads seen some shit that they wasn't cool with. They did. Hold on. They stopped us. They couldn't, and they didn't allow us to even partake in it.
Period.
But these motherfucking parents,
and come to find out that little Johnny over there on 65th got your ass breaking in the car. Not only is your ass out, you ain't break into a car again with this broken arm.
You got that
right.
right.
After that, not only that, you got let me catch your ass
and
around Johnny.
You got that
let
right.
Me get you the fuck, and I'm going over there to Johnny Mama house, and I'm telling her about how your son got my son out here stealing these cars. If you don't stop him, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
That's how we came.
Yeah.
But it ain't.
Max, say what's the topic?
Domestic violence, man.
We're speaking on domestic violence.
We're talking about domestic violence and intimate relationships.
Yeah.
But the shit is bigger than that, because domestic violence is violence under the same roof, the same dwelling or in the same family.
Yeah. So we had went over the story. If you go back, you'll see we're talking about the 2 young ladies that got murdered 2 weeks ago at Texas A&M. That was 19 and 20 years old, and the guy that killed them was 20 years old. These are babies that's killing each other, and it seems like he had no problem with it. You know, what's his name?
LaShawn Smith.
What was his? That's his name?
Yeah.
The guy's name?
Yeah. 21-year-old.
21. Yeah.
He's 21. His baby
and
mama
we're speaking on
was
what
21.
the mindset of a child at 21 years old to say, I'm gonna go up to Texas A&M and I'm gonna premeditate and kill this girl and her sister and shoot the baby.
But see, here's the sickest shit about the story. When y'all go and Google it, research it, and all that, you find out that this low-life motherfucker had already helped knock down another youngster.
Yeah, another young man about
he was already allegedly suspected to be involved in another murder where he took the life of a 21-year-old man several months prior.
Yeah.
Then several months later, he's beating on this girl on a weekly basis. He's beating his baby mama on a weekly basis. To the point to where he gets arrested.
And the system failed him. And the system failed him.
They had been coming out there. It had been a history of violence.
The system failed him. They gave that boy a $15,000 bail. A $15,000 bail, and he was out of jail. He would have never been able to go up there and kill that girl.
All it takes is $1,500 to get him out.
He would have never been able to go up there and kill that girl if they would have not gave him a bail.
And then you got to look at that. I mean, there's so many layers to the shit. The justice system did fail. Why did they fail? Because it's a black woman complaining about a black man beating her.
But they'll turn around and take the black man out the home. Hello.
So this sick motherfucker was sitting in jail on bail for beating his baby mama to the point to where she was hospitalized. Then,
that's
after that, for whatever reason, they don't see eye to eye. She's ready to move forward. He can't take it. Right. And he gets into a fit of rage to follow her from their area, which is Rowett, Texas, up to Garland, Texas, where Texas A&M is, followed her, entered her sister's dorm room, and assaulted both of them, shooting both sisters and shooting his baby mama while his child is in her hands. How does, I'm like her, how does the mindset, how do you have the mind to, I done already killed one youngster or helped allegedly kill one youngster. Then I turn around, beat the shit out of my baby mama, put her in the hospital, get put in jail for that, bail out, then turn around, follow my baby mama, go and shoot her and her sister down and shoot my baby mama while she holding my baby. What my motherfucking set is that? Where was that behavior learned from?
Yeah. He didn't give a damn.
Where was that behavior pattern learned from?
Yeah, that takes a sick fuck's mind at that age. I mean, at any age, but when you're young like that, you think about.
This shit is sad.
Did you want to try it?
Yeah.
You think about what is his mom thinking? What is his?
That exactly.
What is his family thinking?
His family hurting too.
Why? What happened to him in his life to have him have this mindset to kill at that young age?
Repetitively, though. This man had killed.
And then they say he has no remorse. He has no remorse for doing it.
He's allegedly taken 3 lives within the last 365 days. Man.
Yeah. So this is where I want to get to it so we can go ahead and try and what do we do when we see someone that you know that's being abused? Do you get involved? Do you say something to them?
I'm glad you went there.
I have to, because we've been around it. You and I have been around it. We've been around it. And
I'm glad you went there.
And I want to know, what do we do when a person keeps going back?
This shit is deep, man.
I mean, I can stay on here.
We're touching chicken tender spots, because
we can stay on here for a minute. I need to know these answers.
We got a certain code, a street code, a street ethics where niggas shut your mouth, mind your business.
That's what they used to say. That's what they used to say.
Right? No snitching. Mind your own, to each his own.
That's what they
that's very true, man. You can't be out here jumping in motherfuckers' business and just
you get hurt by
a reporter, thinking you TMZ, thinking you the police. You can't run around here just doing that type of shit.
No, sir. Not like you used to.
Especially if you don't know the situation, because a lot of times these violent situations that's domestic, you don't know what it spears from. You don't know how it done stemmed. You don't know the involvement of the man, the woman, who's right, who's wrong. So you got to be very careful. That's a thin ass line that you trying to walk when it comes to involving yourself in somebody else's domestic violence. But from experience, I'm from the streets. I'm a street cat. I'm from Oakland, California. I got a clean report card.
Hey, everyone.
I ain't never did no fuck shit. I ain't no snitch. I ain't no pedophile, no faggot. Excuse my French. Any jacket that don't look cool wearing. But I have jumped out and have stopped a man from beating a woman's ass in the middle of the street several times, because I just could not allow for that shit to go down.
Yeah,
in my presence.
What would you do? What I'm gonna ask the men in here.
That shit tough, man.
I'm gonna ask the men in the room.
That's a tough question.
What would you do if you seen a woman getting abused in public? Would you stop to help her? Or would you keep driving? Or would you pull over and watch? Because some of us pull over and watch that type of shit. A lot of these motherfuckers now, I can't pull over and watch no shit like that.
A lot of cats go pull over.
And I don't give a damn if she black, white, green, purple, blue, orange. I don't give a fuck.
Now that's some
if you see a woman,
you better off just
getting abused by a man
and pulling your ass over and filming it. I would now let me see a motherfucking woman or anybody getting their ass whooped, and I see somebody pull up and film this shit. I'm on your top, the filmer.
And also the same thing, women. If you seen a man being abused by his woman, what would you do?
If I see,
if he kept saying, "I told you to stop, don't hit me, stop," and you see this type of shit, what would you do? Would you stop and pull over and say something? What?
If I see a man beating a woman's ass in public, I'm going to try to analyze the situation before I get myself involved. If I analyze the situation and I can determine that this woman, because I said that before and I got checked on it and I had to reword my phrase. No woman ever deserves to get their hands put on. I would analyze to see if that woman has put themselves in the position to allow for a man to have to defend himself regardless of her sex or not. Saying that to say, sometimes women can put themselves in a position to where a man just got to defend himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A
Woman
woman should always remain
clock a
woman.
motherfucker, hit a motherfucking man, spit on a man,
Unless
do
she
something
defending herself.
outlandish like that. In some cases, a man have to defend himself.
Right.
So if I seen a man abusing a woman, I'm gonna try to analyze the situation to see if it's one of them situations or not. If it's not a situation where the man gotta be putting his hands on the woman and I can come to that determination, then I'm gonna try to intervene and stop that man from continuing to put his hands on that woman for a couple of reasons. One, first and foremost, of course, to try to protect that lesser aggressor, the woman, from getting her ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I'm gonna try to stop that man from going his ass to jail or getting killed.
Yeah.
So I would try to analyze the situation, use my better judgment, and if I feel it's necessary, then I'm gonna step in and try to stop it. If I try to analyze the situation and I'm like, whoa, that ain't none of my business. That's some shit. Hey, sis, I can't do nothing about that. Sometimes it's those situations.
So what?
And I'm gonna push the fuck on.
So what if it was a family member that you knew that was getting beat?
Mm-hmm. And still, that don't change the situation for me. I'm still gonna analyze this, how and why is this motherfucker putting their hands on you? Because just because it's your sister, don't mean that it makes it cool because your sister got caught in the bed giving another nigga head, and then she got caught and she bust this nigga tires out. Now he came back and they got into it and he beat her ass. You got to analyze every situation. Mm-hmm. If it's my family member, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to analyze the situation. And if I see that she has put herself in a situation to where that man had no choice but to defend himself, mm-hmm. then there's nothing that I can do. Will I still confront that man and address him? More than likely, yes, just because that's my family. Mm-hmm. And that's how I get down. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a different approach. Now, if it's a situation that's my family and I know that they didn't deserve it and they ain't put themselves in a position, mm-hmm. I'm ready to go to the extreme. Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like we talked earlier, you know, you got to be careful in them situations because you can be that, oh, let's go. I'm ready to go to the extreme. And it backfired on you. You could be put in a situation where you might go to the extreme. Mm-hmm. And then you turn around and the person, family member you was trying to protect, stop fucking with you. Yeah. I've seen that happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when it comes to getting involved, but you can't be afraid to get involved.
Right. I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that some of us have got to that point to where we scared to get involved. Yeah. Man, I ain't trying to lose my job. I ain't trying to go to jail. Right. That motherfucker might be crazy. He might come back and shoot our house up. Shit, if he could do it to her, fuck that.
Right. He whooping her ass, or she whooping his ass, and nobody's doing anything.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes, and that's another thing too. Sometimes that abuse continues because there is nobody coming in and fucking.
Exactly.
There's no demonstration.
And see, yeah,
there's no demo being put down.
All my nieces and nephews know that auntie is crazy. They know this auntie is crazy, and I don't play that. Letting a man put their hands on you and all that stuff. You know, always try to be there and rescue them and all that stuff. You know, been through some of those things with family members.
No doubt.
But I think we all know somebody, like I said, that has been through domestic violence, and a lot of us turn our cheeks with it. You know, and we shouldn't turn our cheeks when we know it's happening. We really need to get that person and try and talk to them and try and give them information and to help them go to some counseling with them, and, you know, continue to talk to them, invite them over, get them around them people. You know, sometimes you got to work a little harder, you know, because they're feeling like I said, their self-esteem is low. They don't love themselves. Nobody cares for them, so they sit there and they put up with that shit. They don't know nobody gonna help them if they leave.
Right.
So they stay.
Wow, I like this comment from Lynn. It says Lynn Stars so eloquently summarized.
Did Mac Johnson leave? Oh, okay.
No, Mac Johnson said, man, shit is crazy. We are living in our last days. Facts. Sherman said, now that's effed up. Something mentally wrong with him. For real. And that's what it be. The mindset of a lot of these people. And then Lynn summed up the whole night basically with what we all are saying and coinciding with. She says, I believe there are a multitude of situations that become the platform for violence in a relationship. And society has become desensitized to it based on the acceptance in film, TV, music, etc. That is on per.
Yeah.
That is on per. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's going on. And that's exactly why we have a situation like we just had 2 weeks ago in Texas. Because on so many different levels, it's an opening for violence in a relationship. Who on your phone? What you looking at? Who you texting? Where you go last night? Why you this? Why you that? What you wearing? Like you said, all that is so many different openings for violence to stem from. And that goes back to, but if you set those boundaries, because if you got those boundaries set, when a motherfucker start doing that, oh, that shit gonna hurt. They hitting spots. You like, whoa,
and just
this ain't comfortable. I can't do
like
this.
I said, watch out for the signs.
Yeah.
They gonna show you the signs before they even just attempt to hit you.
But see, the thing is,
excuse me.
Exactly. And I think those signs will become a lot clearer for us all if we got boundaries and standards in place.
Yes.
When we just go into these relationships blind, just looking for nub, just wanting to get fucked or whatever it is, we let our guard down. You know what I'm saying? Our apprehension level go down. We just want to have fun. We just want to be satisfied. We just want to have that gratification.
You can't even be fucking like that no more anyways.
You shouldn't be.
I mean, they got too much shit out there now for you to be just trying to have sex with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that when you out there, young folks especially, when you're out there and you're meeting people and you're enjoying yourselves,
like she said though,
and you're enjoying yourselves, just
us as a society, as a people, we are desensitized because it don't mean nothing. I remember when I was young, man, and there'll be, I'm a Cancer, so I'm a sensitive creature. You feel me? I work with my feelings a lot sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't scared to admit it. You know what I'm saying? So I remember being a shorty, man, when I was a little kid, man, like certain songs, old school songs, that's why I do music. I really listen to the music and be like, damn, that's deep, that's heavy. And it'll make me think. Or when I was a little kid, like being like 8, 9 years old and watching a movie where a woman get beat or gang raped.
Right.
That shit'll make me cry.
Right.
I'll be like, oh, mama, why they doing it like that? Right. Oh, shit. Because, exactly. Because it was like, oh, it was the shock. Oh, shit. That's not supposed to happen. But when it's happening so much on a daily basis and we see our eye gate is subjugated to that shit, like she said, through film, music.
Just like that's so true. That's true, so true.
So we can see a Instagram, a dude
Right.
pulling a woman.
Right,
And
right.
we like, damn, that's fucked up.
Right, right.
And just
Or
wide left.
or
That ain't nothing when you
that's
got
funny you said
motherfuckers, females swallowing whole cucumbers and motherfuckers sitting there
or people
shoveling cue balls up their ass.
or people taking pictures at funerals. I never understand it. Why?
The value of life.
Why are you taking pictures at
The
funerals?
value of life and
This is crazy.
the sacredness of death is just all fucked up nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Awesome comment.
That's why.
We are completely desensitized.
That's why people don't mourn you no more.
Right, for about 2-3 days.
They mourn you for about. I'll even give them a week.
A week.
But after that,
If you're famous,
you ain't mourning them. Right.
If you're famous,
you'll continue to be mourned.
But
You got
a couple of weeks if you're famous.
Don't just be a family member. No, sir. You mourn until your ass put in the ground. Oh, he gone, they gone.
Sherman said, if that happened to me, I'll just give her the gun and say, handle your business. He said, just don't kill that punk ass. Right. And then Lynn came back in and said, pay attention to the hair standing up on the back of your neck and don't ever ignore it. That's them red flags. That's them signs, that gut feeling, whatever you want to call it. What did we just learn with Nai?
Right.
Indian moons. That's an Indian moon. The hair standing up.
I will give y'all an example. I'm gonna say it before I go. I'm gonna give y'all an example of being aware. Being aware. So I start that gut feeling. So before I met him, I had these 2 dogs, right? Lynn, no, I was staying over on in North Highlands, right? Yep. Remember the guy?
Santana and Pisces?
Yeah. Dogs? Yeah. I had my dogs in the back. So I met this guy on the bright line.
Oh,
bright line.
Latif.
What was his name? Mustafa?
Latif. Falif.
Anyway.
Fake ass.
So I met him, so I invite him over and everything.
My name is Brother Salu.
But anyway. I'm bold, back then, party line was different, everything's different then. So he came over and everything, I cooked dinner, whatever. So he kept telling me that I had to get rid of my dogs. He kept telling me, he was like, if me and you gonna be together, you gotta get rid of these dogs. And I'm like, my dogs was here, Nick. This is how, my mama. This is how my talent was really I was no joke when I was a little younger, but I was like, shit, you got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna get rid of my motherfucking dogs for you.
He said, there's only one big dog up in here. There's only one big dog up in here.
I was not having it. So then it went from that to what I wanted to wear, and I'm like, oh, hell no. We ain't gonna have that.
So what happened?
I want to meet you.
Yeah, man, a real player, man. Go.
Anyways,
man, go where you want to go.
Anyways.
Mad at you, man.
But I was gonna not be trying to be with him anyways, because he was not.
That's crazy.
You're not gonna have me get rid of my dog.
Yeah.
So little signs like that, you have to really, you
gotta pay attention to.
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention to it, because that's like she said, that's the platform. If I can get her to get rid of her dogs, I've had her give up something that she was already used to. If I can get her to do that, what can I get her to do next? And if you can get her to do something else, then something else, and then you try to get her to do something else, and she decides, no, I don't want to do that.
Now it's a smart ass.
Now it's a problem. Now you're going against the grain. Because every time I ask you to do something, you've been doing it. Now all of a sudden you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
so
I was that one.
We all got to be careful.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
We have to be careful, man. Never let anyone change you.
Right.
Be you. You should not have to change to be with somebody. If anything, you need to be the best you can be, and then when y'all get together, y'all enhance each other.
Right.
Y'all improve each other, but you should never have to change.
And the
just to be with
first
them.
sign that he hits you, it's time to go. It's time to go.
But you know what? It's got to be before that.
I know that. I'm just saying. Some women stay around.
Don't get
until
a black eye and then say,
you
know what? I think I'm about to leave.
I know, but some women stay around through the mental abuse.
Right, but we trying to teach them. We trying to teach them.
Well, I'll say the first, just like I said, the first sign.
Like Lynn
the first
said,
sign.
Pay attention to the hair standing up on your back.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the gut feeling. Pay attention to when you get that little itchy tingling under your arm or your palm sweaty, whatever it is. And when something don't suit you right, when something says this ain't cool, your moral compass, your gut feeling, everybody got one. Where something happens to you when you just know, oh no, this is it. When you get that feeling from a motherfucker, shake them. Shake them. What's the worst thing that you can lose?
You keep all your teeth.
That ain't funny, man.
No, what's that?
That's funny.
Because
You out of pocket. I thought I was the comedian. It's scandalous. You keep all your teeth.
I was not saying that to be funny. I was saying that.
You gotta pray tonight about that one. You better do an extra little 30 seconds. Y'all hear her, man? You better do 30 extra seconds tonight, Jack.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No, but on some real talk though. If we can suggest anything from me, from Squickly, what I'm suggesting, y'all, and this is just not for the females, this is for men too. Because men go through physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and verbal abuse just as well. But this is for everybody and anybody. If you out there dating, if you are going to involve yourself in any type of relationship with another human being, first and foremost, love yourself enough to where you are not needing that love from someone else. Did y'all hear that? First and foremost, love yourself enough to where you don't need that love from anyone else.
And how do they go about loving themselves if they don't know what love is?
If you don't know what love is, you've never experienced love. First thing you need to do is start with affirmations. Affirmations are positive quotes and statements of reassurance. So if you never knew what love is, sit down, get a piece of paper, and write 50 of the most amazing things that you know about yourself. If you can't come up with 50, do as many as you can. If you get to 50 and you got more, keep going. Fill the paper up, keep on writing. Fill up a list of all the things that are great, positive, unique, intriguing, interesting, and special about you. Write them down, and then you make them into phrases, into statements. I am smart, intelligent, athletic, whatever it is. And you hang these affirmations up on your wall, on your mirror, on your refrigerator. Type them, put them in your phone, whatever you need to do so that you can constantly and continually remind yourself of these affirmations. Because you will get into a program and a routine to where you will be affirming your self-worth, and you won't need nobody else to do it for you. Mm-hmm. And that's going to build your self-esteem, which is going to increase your love for yourself. Mm-hmm. Once you learn how to love yourself, you ain't going to need nobody else to do it. And once you start learning how to love yourself, now you got a template. Now you got a skill Because if you loving yourself and you know how that feel, if somebody else you dealing with, they not bringing that same feeling, you know it ain't good. Well, shit, like they say, I could do another interim. I could do bad all by myself.
Yeah, because like I said, I the other day, last week is that love, a person can get love at home all day long,
right?
But when they step outside, they don't see that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
but that's okay. Because at least they got that balance. Like I said, the scale, at least they got that balance. If they get it from home, they know what love is and what love is like. So when they go out in that ratchet ass world, they be like, ooh, this ain't nothing like home. Oh, I know these motherfuckers out here don't love me. But you gotta be exposed to that too, though.
Right.
So you know, because every day ain't everybody in the world ain't
gonna
love you.
I always ask myself, why do some of these young women pick these and young men pick the wrong person? How is it that if you're getting all this love at home
that has
and your parents have raised you a certain way and taught you what love is and you've seen it among the family and all it, and then you still go out and go get another one?
That has a lot to do with self-love.
That is crazy.
That has a lot to do with everything we done talked about tonight. Self-love.
That's crazy.
Self-esteem, standards, and boundaries. Because if you got all of that, if you love yourself, if you got high self-esteem, if you got morals and standards, and you set boundaries, you're not going to allow for yourself to be in a position to where you're picking the worst. Because you don't even got to pick them. Just the way you wire is going to be a filter system. Motherfucker, people going to filter themselves out. It's going to take a real crafty, sneaky individual to get past your filtration system.
Sure is.
And that's possible too, because some people can be one way, act one way.
Right.
And you're like, you know what? They checking all the boxes. They not, going outside of none of my boundaries. You know what I mean? I'm going to give them a chance.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, a year later, they could switch up on you. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. You have your boundaries and standards in place. They just pump faked you. They finessed you. And that can happen to any of us. But if you don't got those standards and boundaries and morals in place, you'll fall for anything. So that's Squeaky Leak's suggestion on how we can prevent ourselves from even getting into these situations of domestic violence. Love yourself, man. Have some standards, morals, and set boundaries. That's my suggestion.
Yeah.
No.
Because we mothers and fathers are so tired of burying our kids to domestic violence. We're tired.
And Lynn says, more than anything, you will keep your peace of mind. And I don't think and see, to the youngsters, I don't think y'all know how important that is yet, to have serenity, a peace of mind, to be stress-free. That is more important than money, than monetary valuable shit. For you to just be able to have a clear mind, to be able to relax when you want to relax, to not have no stress on you. That's your livelihood, especially when you're getting older. That's
yeah. Because there's one thing about it is that when the person is in a domestic violent relationship and say you know about it and you've been trying to talk to this person and you've been trying to tell them this and that to go by, and then you turn around, guess what happens? Because that person don't want to leave. You go right through the stressing with them, the pain. You worry about them. You think about them. You don't want the police to knock on your door one night and say that, oh, that person is dead because this person that killed them because they didn't leave this person and You suffer with that shit. That shit is stressful. So it's like the answers to helping them. What I mean,
I go back. I go back. Think about whatever situation that you have been in, and any situations where you've had to deal with that type of stress from worrying about a person. Think about it. Is that person loving themselves?
right.
Does that person have high standards? Does that person have high self-esteem? And does that person or has that person set boundaries? If the answer is no to any of them, then they will continue to allow themselves to be subjugated to that type of abuse until they start to love themselves truly, until they set standards and boundaries.
Do we have a hotline for domestic violence that we can give them before we leave?
I'm sure we can Google one. I'm sure there is.
Look on your phone. Go to your phone. Yeah, go on your phone.
I'm sure there is.
So we want to give you guys a number for anyone that you know that may be going through some domestic violence. I pray that none of my family members are going through any type of domestic violence. And if you are, please reach out to me personally. Reach out to me. Maybe I can help in some shape, form, or fashion. If there are any friends of mine that's going through any type of domestic violence, same thing to you too. I will keep you guys in my prayers because domestic violence affects anybody and everybody. It could. There are not a lot of women like me that's not going to allow it to happen. So
if you are in the Northern California, Sacramento Valley area, Weave Incorporated, WEAVE Incorporated is a nonprofit organization. They're based in Sacramento, California. The telephone number to their domestic violence hotline.
What's the address?
Hold on.
Okay.
Their domestic violence hotline is 916-448-2321. Once again, that's 916-448-2321. That's Weave Incorporated. And their address, they're located at 1900 K Street, Suite 200, Sacramento, California, 95811. And there's several other services out there, but Weave is one of the most known with some of the larger resources. So once again, that's Weave Incorporated, area code 916-448-2321. And their location is at 1900 K Street, Sacramento, California, 95811, Suite 200.
And always remember if there is an emergency, dial 911 first.
Yeah.
Dial 911 first. Before you dial Weave, dial 911. Okay. In the meantime, you guys, we have been on 2 hours.
Or your brothers and uncles if you got them.
Right. We started at 7:45. It's 9:45. 2 hours we gave you guys tonight.
Appreciate
because we
y'all.
felt
This
is a very important subject, that topic we needed to touch on.
I have to shake my sickness off and come back and get on this one because
appreciate it.
This topic had to be addressed, man. It is sickening to a degree, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? Because I think so. I don't know. For me, I just think that right now that's going to be the biggest answer, because even how we address the women that sometimes put themselves in positions, I think that if they had that real self-love, standards and boundaries, they wouldn't be in them positions either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So y'all take that, man, and hopefully, we can be a platform that provide information for y'all. to bring awareness to the situation. We know there's so many platforms out there. We talk about it so much, but because we got so much violence going on and we have become desensitized to violence domestically and in general, seeing somebody get their head blown off, it just don't feel the same anymore. It don't hit the same no more because we done seen it so many times. But because of that, I think that we sweep domestic violence under the rug a lot more than we used to. But it ain't cool. We don't need to do that. So hopefully On Point Media can be a platform that's going to continue to bring light, continue to address this situation. This ain't going to be the last time that we're going to talk about this in some type of shape, form, or fashion. Any of our followers know that we've been doing this and we kind of keep on in some type of form bringing it to light, because it's just like racism. It's a problem that ain't going to go nowhere until we start doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, man,
to go to YouTube.
Yeah, all the people on Facebook that checked us out tonight, if y'all could subscribe to our YouTube channel, we would appreciate it. We on YouTube with our podcast live every Tuesday and every Thursday at 7:30. Because for y'all on Facebook, y'all was in for a treat. We don't come on Facebook all the time with our podcast. This is not our platform. It's just when we got topics that's this big, we got to reach a bigger audience. So if you want to continue to check us out, if you like what you saw, you want to continue to check us out and see where our topics are, continue to follow us, continue to have input and join in, follow us on YouTube at OnPurnt, ONPURNT Media on YouTube. We on every Tuesday, every Thursday, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
To my OnPurnt family on YouTube, we appreciate y'all for keeping it lit as y'all always do.
Thank you guys.
Always keep us lit. Thanks everybody for coming in. We appreciate it. Hit us with that like button. Go ahead and hit us with the thumbs up. Hit us with the thumbs up one time.
Baby.
Click that notification bell so you can know when we going live. We appreciate y'all. We can't do this without y'all.
Love you too, cousin Sherman.
Thanks, man. OnPurnt, Sherman.
Lynn. All
Lynn,
you guys.
Mac Johnson, everybody, man, that came in. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we're going to see y'all Thursday. Thursday, we're going to go in. We got another topic that we're going in on. Hey, it might be light. It might be fun. You never know. We go the way the world goes. But make sure you tap in, because no matter what we talking about, you know that it's going to be OnPurnt. You did? Hey, we love y'all, man. Till Thursday, man. We up out of this thing, man. Holla, man. Love, respect, man. We up out of here.